brief update of everything that's been going on in the last week. So last Monday, that was last Monday, correct? Technically. If you saw our previous video, we received a phone call from someone that wanted to be an anonymous donor, and they were willing to match any money that we raised from Monday to Friday, which was shocking and amazing and wonderful. And so we put the word out there. We had lots of wonderful people donate. And in that time span, we raised enough that once it's matched, we will have $5,573. I have to look. Let me look really quick.
Either way, while she's looking that up, it's a total blessing that we're having this happen. I mean, like Stephanie's sister put, in 4 short days, we raised twice as much as we raised in 1 month. So if it wasn't for that anonymous donor, the incentive that I guess triggered some more people to donate was spectacular. So it's an amazing thing, an amazing accomplishment that you all did. That,
yes.
Of course, I give you the credit to God, but without you all, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we're at right now. So, what total you got for us?
$5,576 once it's matched, which is amazing. It's mind-blowing.
To put that into perspective, that total just alone, I mean, that should cover, my surgery, and at least the quote that we have right now from one pharmacy should cover Stephanie's medicine. And we're not done looking for other pharmacies. We're still waiting to hear back from our insurance regarding that as well. At least the quote that they're going to have for us. So,
Alex has his surgery coming up on Thursday, April 27th. How are you feeling about that?
Nervous. I mean,
I don't even think he's nervous about the surgery. It's nervous about the quality of what they're getting.
Yeah.
And hoping that it's good quality for us to be able to use.
So I've had lots of surgeries before in my life, so I'm not too concerned about that aspect of it. But it's a lot of money to do what we're doing, and so I mean, I've never had a sample before, so we don't know what kind of shape they're in, what it's going to turn out to be like. Also, if they're going to be good enough to fertilize Stephanie's eggs. So that's where the stress is. I guess it's a stressful moment. So I'll feel much better once that part's done and over with, and we can move on to Stephanie's medication and egg retrieval. But working back to me real quick, on Friday, I did get a call from my doctor for my surgery, who put an order in for me to have my cystic fibrosis test done anyways. Now, we were pretty sure that I was going to be a carrier for cystic fibrosis, at least, because of what my male infertility entails. However, when a doctor tells you that they still want to test for you anyways, you get this hope that, hey, we'll probably, or there's maybe a chance that I'm not a carrier. Maybe I'm just in the clear and I'm a weird breed of person and just has one issue that is unrelated to cystic fibrosis. That wasn't the case. Called back and said that I am positive for the cystic fibrosis, or the mutated cystic fibrosis gene. So I am a carrier, and it is what it is. But even though I kind of felt like I was going to be already, but I built that hope up that maybe I wasn't. And so Friday, it was a rough day. After finding that out, I just couldn't ever find my groove again for the day, and I just kind of wanted it to be over.
We still have to get my testing back. When we had the blood test done, the nurse said that it could take a few weeks, and it's been almost 2 weeks. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. They tested cystic fibrosis, SMA, and FXS. So we're waiting on all those to come back. They only tested Alex for cystic fibrosis, but basically the biggest one that we're waiting to hear back on is my cystic fibrosis gene now. So we're hoping and praying that I am not a carrier. It's scary.
And even if she is, don't take that as in we're done
Right.
or we're stopping. We've discussed this with multiple people, and I believe maybe with you all. If not,
Surprise!
we are going to have genetic testing done on our embryos.
It has nothing to do with the gender, the hair color, anything like that. We don't care about any of that. It has to do with the fact that past medical histories that we want to make sure that they're safe and sound.
We want to make sure that it's the most viable pregnancy that we can have.
Yeah. And I know that's touchy and some people don't agree, but it's what we want to do and we feel like it's okay.
But like we've talked about in the past, if we have leftover embryos, we still plan to keep them.
Right.
Just because maybe one comes back and they're possibly going to be a carrier or have cystic fibrosis, we're still not going to throw them to the wind. Like, that's not our intention. So we're still going to, do what I think most anybody would do in this situation and look out for the well-being of our children.
And that's the thing, like, it's not even that it's just for us. It's the fact that we don't want to bring a child into this world that has to suffer for the rest of their life. Like, and I know if we would have gotten pregnant on our own, naturally, blah, 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 it could have happened. But I don't think it's selfish of us to take these extra precautions to make sure that the baby's okay. And whenever they do the genetic testing, we found out, because they test the embryos, but they test the fluid around the embryos. There's nothing that harms the embryo or the baby
whatsoever. It's not like they take a little piece out of the embryo or anything like that.
It's just the fluid. So
we're ready.
We are. It's such a weird feeling. Like, it's exciting, it's scary. Like I said in the previous video, I feel like we're kind of running around with chickens with our heads cut off, but at the same time, we're in the same place, like, not going anywhere. So, I don't know. It's a crazy process. Like, one minute, I'm like, okay, let's do this. And the next minute, I'm like, I gotta order my meds. I gotta get this figured out. And we're, like, freaking out to each other. But then I'm like, okay, or Alex is like, okay, let's calm down. We've got this, we can do this. Like, we'll get it figured out. I will brag on Alex for a minute. He's been, like, the best person in this situation. He has done so many phone calls with insurance, with the clinic. He has bent over backwards for us for this. And I might get emotional, but I am very appreciative because it means a lot. Because not every person or even a husband are willing to do that. And I just appreciate that he's taken so much time and effort into this and has been such an advocate for the both of us and for our child or children or family. So I appreciate it.
Thanks. That wasn't planned. But I've inherited a lot of that from my mother. We're fighters. It's just what we do.
And you've had to fight your whole life, and not to get emotional again, but it's in you, and that's great. Like,
but if you go back to watch our story video, that's when we really started it, and we found out that originally insurance wasn't going to cover anything. And so that's where we were at. That's what we were believing was going to go on. And fast forward to right now, and through multiple phone calls, multiple attempts, multiple tries, and fighting, insurance has pulled through. And
you just have to be your biggest advocate for yourself. Like, even our clinic has agreed with that. Like, they can do so much, but you have to really be the person that fights for you and your spouse. Like, and Alex has definitely been that for us. So, our child one day when you're watching this, or children, thank your father because he has been over backwards for us. He continues to with going to school and doing all this, and I guess this has turned into a brag on Alex for a minute, but it's just meant a lot what he's done for us.
Thanks, babe.
And I know we're both scared, but we've got each other. And
We've got you.
yeah, and we've got you guys and God, but I don't know, it's scary also to think about, like, our relationship will be changing, hopefully, like, we'll become mom and dad, which is so crazy, like, we'll be married 6 years this year. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 years.
And-
We just hit 7 of dating. That's another thing. Continue to date your wife. Don't just get comfortable. And I think that even though we've gone through a huge struggle with this fertility thing, we've always kept each other 1 and 2. And I think
We're each other's ride or die.
and even when we do have a beautiful baby girl or boy or whatever,
Or babies.
we'll still keep each other number 1 and number 2. And I think that by doing that, the child will be able to grow up in a home where they know that mom and dad love each other, mom and dad are there for each other, and that even when times get hard, they still can lean on each other, and by doing so can be a great benefit to the children and the family. So continue to date your wife. That's another tip for you.
And communication. I don't know where this video is going. It's a little bit of everything, but apparently we needed to get our feelings out there. But the biggest part is that
The money.
and how.
Just kidding. That sounds
Oh, no,
weird.
I mean-
But yeah.
This is what the video was about, was to give everyone an update on what we collected this week. We're
And-
so beyond thankful, grateful, shocked. I know Alex and my sister especially were not convinced that this was going to work, and I was like, I have a good feeling. Like, I think this... One person at least has to be positive. They were positive to my face. Alex told me, he's like, I don't know how well this is going to work.
I mean, I'm a realist. I'm usually an optimist. I don't want to say that I was pessimistic, but I was being realistic. I just didn't expect people to jump out of nowhere.
I think because, like, we raised so much money and then we just hit, like, a dead end.
a plateau.
Like,
It just stopped. Like, and I always hate saying stuff like that because it sounds kind of greedy, and
But we don't mean it greedy.
we don't mean it greedy, but it was just we thought like this was gonna be
Like, people were done. Like,
Yeah,
whoever was going to give had given, and that was fine. Completely fine. Like, we were completely thankful for those that had already given. But we are excited because now we have a huge chunk. Huge chunk.
that's
towards
been
it.
taken off of our shoulders.
Yeah.
And,
So thank you.
And you all took that burden,
Yeah.
and that's we can't ever be more grateful for it, and we really can't. To know that out
We're
of
loved that much. Our child is going to be loved that
Right.
much.
right, and I told Stephanie we were talking about baby names, and her sister likes to interject things, which is okay.
What are you talking about?
Hey, we're okay. She had some interesting names. I don't even remember what they
Who,
were.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I said, what, does she think she's bought shares into her child now? and then she came up with another one that was just, to me, was off the wall. I said, does she want a refund?
But we do feel like we have a whole... They say it takes a village to raise a child, and I feel like we definitely already have that village. Like, I know that this baby or babies or whatever, they're going to be so loved. Like, we joke all the time that I'm not even going to get time to hold the baby because so many people are going to be wanting to love on it. And
that's fine. Build that immune system up. That's the way I look at it.
so maybe down the road, if I'm pregnant, we can throw out a video of name ideas, even though we kind of already know.
Yeah, throw some comments
But
down below if you have
If
some.
you paid your share, no, I'm just kidding.
We'll still take ideas though.
Yeah, because we're not completely like closed off on taking other people's opinions.
But if it's terrible, I'll tell you.
Yeah, like Margaret, Melissa.
I'm sorry, Margaret. If your name is Margaret, there's a disclaimer. Sorry.
Okay, I've had little sleep. Alex has had little sleep. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for being part of
Amazing.
our village. And we love you guys, and we cannot wait to give you guys the next update. Bye!